Hello. A very warm welcome, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing absolutely amazing on this very beautiful day. Welcome you as well, Eduardo. How you doing, my man? I think you're still muted, right?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Loud and
Awesome.
clear.
Yes, sorry. I was just saying, super happy and excited to be here. I think it's going to be a blast of a live stream. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to just get into it, really.
Absolutely. How was it over the weekend? Prop Trading Expo London.
Yeah, you know what? It was so busy. Like, I saw so many. It was like double the amount of people that I expected to be there, but it was like every single booth was jam-packed. All of the different panel talks were great. Just like, yeah, it was just really great to see the prop trading space just going to the next level, because I think, in the last few years, it's really skyrocketed and boomed. So, yeah, man, it's great to see so many people eager to learn trading, to get funded, and just take everything to new heights, man.
It definitely is. Yeah, I heard some very good stories about last weekend. Luckily, we had you there, like in the middle of the action. So here's some very good stories, and indeed, I think it's amazing to see that this past weekend was the first ever a completely dedicated prop trading expo worldwide. Usually, of course, we have the IFX, which is happening next week as well in Dubai, and we have the one in Cyprus. But that one is not like completely dedicated to prop trading itself. But with having the first dedicated prop trading expo happening is a big step forward, in my opinion, for the industry. So extremely excited for what's coming next. But it was a very nice weekend for the whole industry.
Yeah, no, 100%. And if anyone in the chat actually managed to pop down to London and actually go to the expo, please just drop it in the comments. Let us know if you were there and how you guys found it as well.
Absolutely. All right. I think without further ado, we get the stream and the event going. Again, I want to wish everyone a very warm welcome to the first ever live event of BrightFunded. My name is Jelle. Most of you will probably know me as one of the founders of BrightFunded. Today we're celebrating our second anniversary. Actually, this was already happening earlier this month. We officially launched on September the 12th, 2023. So a bit earlier than today, September 29th. But as a whole, this month is for us a month of celebrations. We're celebrating our second anniversary, which is a huge milestone, especially in our industry. We're celebrating the integration of MetaTrader 5, which also happened this month under our own license, under our own MetaQuotes license. And now, end of September, our first ever live event is happening. Extremely grateful for what we've already accomplished, together with both our dedicated team, which is already consisting of more than 30 professionals right now worldwide, but also for all the traders that are trading with us, traded with us in the past, and will definitely trade with us in the future. So what do you think, Eduardo? Shall we get things started and kick it off?
Yeah, definitely. I think that sounds like a plan. But before we go into it, I actually want to ask the audience, just a quick one. I want to see in the comments, what do you guys think is the best trading strategy? I want to see which one's the most popular. So just drop in the comments now what you think the best trading strategy is. And then, once we've got the answers, then we can kick it off.
Definitely.
Right,
Because we also don't need to forget, right? We don't need to forget that there are 500K in challenges up for the grabs. So we're running a huge giveaway during the live stream happening in between sessions during the stream, but also at the very end of the stream. So definitely the ones of you that are the most engaged will stand a huge chance to win of the BrightFunded giveaway account.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good one to kick it off, man.
Yeah, man, I'm seeing lots of answers coming through. I'm seeing ICT, SMC, CRT, Elliott wave, trend lines, supply and demand, liquidity sweeps. Okay, it seems like the most popular one is SMC. Yeah, we're coming in thick and fast. Okay, support and resistance is beginning to take a bit of a lead. Okay, nice. Yeah, great. Thank you everyone for just dropping in your comments. I think it's time to start. So let's kick things off. I would like
yes,
to.
Sir.
Yeah, I would love to invite our first guest. He's an absolute beast of a trader. I'm sure if you follow us on social, you've seen.
By the way, Eduardo, I think we first kick it off with the intro, BrightFunded intro, right?
Yes, of course.
Perfect. So thanks for that. Thanks for that quick introduction, Eduardo. To get things going, I'd like to personally do a short introduction about BrightFunded, what happened actually in the past 2 years, the major updates we've recently launched, and what our plans are for the upcoming years, because we have some very interesting plans lined up, which are definitely industry breaking and actually groundbreaking within the industry as a whole. But first of all, a quick introduction about the lineup we have. I think we have 4 incredible talented traders today coming into the live stream. First of all, as I said, I will do the introduction about BrightFunded. Then we have one of our best performing traders, Florian, coming into the stream. I think Florian already he already accumulated over 100,000 USD in payouts just from BrightFunded, and I know that he's also very active at other prop firms. So what Eduardo already mentioned, he's a beast of a trader. Then after Florian, we have Jordy lined up. Jordy also 800K in funding. After Jordy, we have Sam. Sam's already been on our Trader Roundtable podcast as well. Also a beast of a trader. And then lastly, we have the very well-known Zamco Capital. I think one of the most famous traders within the prop trading industry. So absolutely incredible lineup of traders that we have today in the 2nd anniversary live stream of BrightFunded. But first of all, let's quickly recap what's actually happened the last 2 years, because BrightFunded launched 2 years ago, September 2023. And back then, with a very bold vision to launch BrightFunded and to basically provide more opportunities to a larger group of traders. And we actually wanted to do it in a way that would set new standards in the prop firm industry. And we actually already knew from the get-go 2 years ago that if we wanted to make a significant impact in the industry and basically becoming one of the leaders in the industry, we couldn't rely on like a lot of third parties, which basically means that we had to build everything from scratch. So 2 years ago already, we assembled our own development team, our own tech team, and we built the complete BrightFunded ecosystem completely from scratch, because we knew if we had too many independencies, depending on this company, depending on that third party, we couldn't make the impact that we really wanted to make on the industry as a whole. So we basically built everything from scratch right from the get-go, which was definitely the path of the most resistance, because back then it was so much easier to go to a tech provider and basically start a prop on the go and basically work on a plug and play model. But we choose the path of the most resistance. We built everything from scratch under the leading of Bogdan, our CTO, which was one of the first developers of one of the basically biggest neo brokers of Europe. It's called Bucks. I think many of the European traders know Bucks because it's extremely big broker. He was basically one of the architects of that broker, and he was also one of the architects of BrightFunded. So together with Bogdan, we built the complete ecosystem from scratch. started just with the X-Rate. Why we choose the X-Rate back then? Because the X-Rate was the only party back then that could provide us with the solutions we wanted, because back then it was very common to launch your prop with a MetaTrader license, or actually with a MetaTrader solution via a broker. But basically we didn't choose for that, because when you work with a broker via MT5, it's so much dependent on the broker itself. So also in this one, we choose the path for the most resistant. We choose the X-Rate, which was not a very, very popular trading software back then. But for us as a business, it was the easiest choice and the most, it was the smartest choice, because the X-Rate provided us the solutions we wanted. Sustainability, which is like an extremely big core pillar of our business, was there. They could provide us with sustainability. And actually, when we look back, it was one of the best decisions we've made, because we never had to deal with any migrations. Licenses got cut because the X-Rate provided us the sustainability that we wanted. Then last year, we actually already a couple months ago, we launched CTrader. Amazing platform, definitely A++ platform. And this month we launched MetaTrader 5 on our own license. So I think in terms of trading platforms, amazing journey so far, but there's definitely a lot more to come. So I think in just 2 years we've already achieved some incredible milestones. We've already paid out nearly 8.5 million to our BrightFunded traders. We have multiple traders that joined our 100K club, which basically means that they accumulated over 100K in payouts just from BrightFunded, including Florian, who will come in the stream in a bit. We serve traders in over 170 countries. What I already mentioned, we offer 3 of the most favorite trading platforms in the industry: MetaTrader 5, CTrader, and the X-Rate. And which makes us as a company the most proud is that we can proudly say that we are one of the best rated firms in the industry, with scoring a 4.7 on Trustpilot, which is for our industry extremely high, plus a 4.5 on Prop Firm Match, very famous prop firm comparison platform. So I think we as a team, we're already with over 30 professionals worldwide, can be extremely proud of what we already accomplished. But the feedback we get from the community, from you traders, is something which makes us the most proud, because we see so many amazing, inspiring stories popping up from traders that are starting off with nothing, accumulating BrightFunded payouts, and really achieving their trading goals. So that's something which is extremely nice, which you already accomplished in just over 2 years, I have to say. And of course, the plans that we have lined up are, in our opinion, and from what we see, is even more exciting, because what we're already busy with is streamlining the trading operations, streamlining trade executions. You guys probably already have seen some differences in your trading in recent days, but together with our trading partners, risk partners, we've rolled out a plan to streamline trade execution. So basically, where it will come down to is when you're opening a position or closing a position, you will get a better VWAP, which basically means that you will get a better entry price and a better closing price when you open or close a position. And together with our risk partner and trading partner, we are rolling out that plan to really improve that trade execution, because essentially that's one of the core pillars of our business. Plus, we have something extremely exciting as well lined up, is because this is something we already working on for quite a while, because 2 years ago we built BrightFunded based on sustainability, based on longevity. That's why we're still here, because the past, let's say, 24 months, we solely focused on building that solid foundation together with our risk partners, together with our trading partners, to build that solid foundation to really scale from where we are right now. So we focus on sustainability instead of rapid growth, which basically turned out very well. But we also built BrightFunded with the vision to make like prop trading as a whole more accessible for everyone. So at the moment, we're building an environment, like a BrightFunded environment, which is completely for free, where basically everyone can start prop trading completely for free with the opportunity of earning a real payout. So with this initiative, which is like truly unique in the industry, even though we've not seen it before at any other prop trading firm, we built an environment where you can start completely for free, no transaction needed, where you can take on the challenge and really have the possibility to earn a payout. So earn real cash from nothing. So this is something we're currently building with our development team, which is already extremely exciting. We're extremely excited to roll that out later this year, because this is definitely in line with what we want to build with BrightFunded and what we want to build with BrightFunded in the coming years and tens of years. So that's something which is lined up, coming later this year. Also, more sneak peeks later. This year. So I think that also brings us at the end of that introduction that I wanted to give about BrightFunded, what we've already accomplished over the past 2 years, where we focus on right now, including streamlining trade execution, streamlining internal operations. So that's also benefiting you. I think I already want to thank you guys for your trust, continuous trust in BrightFunded. And I personally really look forward to the upcoming years to build BrightFunded, one of the most recognizable brands in the prop trading industry, which is already going pretty well. So, Eduardo, I'm sure that there are definitely a lot of questions. I'm also very curious about if you already see some questions in the chat that we can answer.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I actually had a few questions myself. So
sure.
For the future of BrightFunded, do you see the potential to support more assets like futures, for example? Because I feel like futures is growing in popularity by the day. So do you think there'll be potential for that?
Sorry, very good question. Look, there are always possibilities, but we at BrightFunded firmly believe in focus, and that's why we just want to focus on BrightFunded right now, on the current services we currently delivering, and optimizing that into the most optimizable way, in the best possible way, to really provide one of the best like CFD prop trading products in the industry. That's the focus we had 2 years ago. That's still the focus we have. So we rather focus on doing just one thing extremely good than focusing on two businesses, which maybe creates a bit of like a diverted focus between two businesses. And I have to say that currently we already do offer a lot of different products. We do offer a wide range of crypto assets. We do offer Forex. We do offer indices, metals, commodities. So we do already offer a very wide range of assets, but we really believe in focus. And that's also why, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the company, we can offer the quality of the service we're currently delivering, also reflected in online reviews. So just long story short, there's always a possibility, but never before we completely optimize BrightFunded in the best possible way, both internally and externally.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. Definitely focus on one, similar to trading, isn't it? You want to focus on one strategy, one thing, so that you can actually become the best at it before you want to venture into anything else.
Absolutely.
I think that's definitely the way to go, man. We've got one question in the chat. It says, do you think consistency matters more than profit size when you scale up accounts? I don't know if that's target traders, but if you want to answer it, then feel free, man.
Of course. Do you think consistency matters more than profit size? That's the question?
It was, let me just scroll up. There's been so many. Do you think consistency matters more than profit size when you scale up accounts?
100%. I think a living example of that is Florian, one of our best performing traders. I think Florian already accumulated over 30 payouts. He is never targeting more than a couple percent on each payout. And he's extremely consistent in that.
Mhm.
And it's no surprise that he's one of our best performing traders, already accumulated over 100K in payouts just from BrightFunded, targeting relatively small payouts, but being extremely consistent. So extremely consistent is extremely important as a trader,
Yeah.
but also as a firm. We also need to be consistent in what we say, what we offer, and what we deliver in terms of payouts, in terms of trading conditions, etc. So definitely consistency is more important than profit size.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I think you hit the nail on the head there perfectly. Let's see if there's any more questions in the chat before we dive straight in. Oh, I think I saw one which I liked. It was why do most traders fail after reaching phase 2?
Why do most traders fail after phase 2? Look, for us, it's extremely hard to, of course, dive into the minds of the traders because we can only objectively look at trading results. But what we do see is that after passing phase 1, there's of course a moment of joy, of happiness, because you passed phase 1, you're in phase 2. And while phase 2 seems to be relatively easier with a lower profit target compared to phase 1, it's definitely mentally a harder phase. Why? Is because you think you're almost there. So what we do see is that when a trader makes a losing trade in phase 2, he's much more over trading than he or she is in phase 1. So I think especially in phase 2, over trading is a common mistake, which is happening a lot in phase 2. So with over trading, I mean higher lot sizes, much more risk on trades, basically risking it all in phase 2 after they made a one losing trade, or a bigger position after a losing position. That's what we see, which often goes wrong. So yeah, to answer your question directly, that's definitely the most common pitfall we see in phase 2.
Yeah, I can actually understand it, because although the profit target is less than it would be in phase 1, it's almost like the dream is becoming more real, and now you're striving more to try and reach it. But then I feel like when you're chasing something, that means it's running away from you, and then it makes it harder and harder for yourself. So yeah, that's a great answer for sure. And I think if we just go into the last, just one more question, just very quick one. Let's see. Let me pick a good one. Oh, how to overcome greed in a funded stage account. Good question.
Oof. I think I can answer that extremely simple, man.
Yeah.
Stick to your plan. If you have a plan, so before even starting your funded account, make a plan how much profit you want to get. I would recommend not targeting more, especially on your first payout, because you just need to stack up wins. So I would recommend targeting a relatively small payout, 1 to 2%. When you hit that target, quit trading until your payout date and completely stick to your trading plan. And of course, every trading plan is different from trader to trader. But before you start your funded account, you can already set for yourself a goal. Okay, hey, I want to make a 1% or 2% payout. This is the strategy, exact strategy, how I'm going to target that 1 or 2%. This is how much I want to risk per trade. And then I know exactly how much trades I need to win before I get that payout. And if you reach that threshold that you set as a target, just quit trading and leave the account until payout date. And I know that Florian, because I see it in the trading data, he's always doing that. if he hits like a certain target, he's just waiting until the payout date, requesting the payout, cash, and continues training. So that's all about discipline, of course, which is extremely important. Trading funded accounts, but also trading challenges, trading phase 1, phase 2, like basically in trading as a whole.
Yeah, smashed it. Yeah, I think that's literally a perfect answer. Just have a target before you even begin, so that you can't even submit to greed. You already know what you're trying to accomplish, and once you reach it, there's no room for negotiations. That is it, and then you just move on to the next, or you just wait for the payout. So yeah,
Exactly.
great, man. Thank you so much for answering all of the questions, man. I think it's now time to get into the nitty gritty. I think our first trader is ready, and I'm really looking forward to this. Should be really exciting.
It's Jordy, right?
It is Florian.
There he is. There he is.
All right, perfect. Florian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Welcome, man. Yeah, all good.
Thank
yeah,
you.
all good.
I
How you
have
doing,
some
man?
internet connections. I'm very sorry. I hope it works. For now, it looks like it should work.
Yeah, it's looking nice and smooth, man. How you doing, bro?
Thank you. I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
Good. I saw that you were at an expo recently, isn't it, in Amsterdam, right?
Yes, I was at an event from Tribe Capital. I actually met Jelle's brother Sip there, and we had a little talk. Yeah.
Nice, man. Wicked.
Nice.
Okay, awesome, man. Thank you, of course, for joining. I think it's going to be a really, really cool episode. We just want to dive a bit into your journey. We'd love to give as much value to the audience as possible, and of course, coming from someone like yourself who's done an incredible, like your record speaks for itself. Over 100K in payouts and over 30. I think you got a payout this morning, if I'm not mistaken, as well, from BrightFunded. So you've definitely been smashing it. So yeah, I hope everyone's ready to take some notes, man. So yeah, just to dive in, really, for those that don't know you, could you just give maybe like a short 1 to 2 sentences about yourself, who you are, how long you've been trading, and then we can just dive into some more questions.
Yes, my name is Flo. I'm from Austria, 28 years old, and started trading, or started to try to trade, basically around 3 to 4 years ago when I got into university, because I wanted to build some cash flow on the side, because we all know as a student you don't have much available.
Yeah.
And yeah, at first I thought trading is easy money and that I just have to do some work on the computer and the money will come in magically. And yeah, the first 2 years I was trying a lot of things, going back and forth, oftentimes going more back than forwards. And after 2 years, 2 to 3 years, it started clicking, everything started working, and now it's a pretty solid machine. And since last year, August, I am solely trading, nothing else anymore. And yeah, that's currently the status.
Yeah, the trader's dream, isn't it? Full-time trading, just that is quite the life, man. Okay, nice, man. Thanks for the intro. So I wanted to dive in again a bit before, like, you got your first funded account. What specifically did your trading journey look like? So I know you mentioned something, you're going backwards to go forwards, but did you find yourself maybe fading a lot of challenges? Did you find yourself strategy hopping? What was the initial journey like, and what were the difficulties that you were having?
At first, when I heard about prop firms, I actually thought prop firms are a scam, and I was very narrow, and I thought, no, I won't do that because it just doesn't sound right. You know, you pay a certain fee and then you get this huge amount of capital to trade with. And for 3 to 6 months, I just didn't hear from prop firms again. And after 2023, the end of 2023, when I joined a group, they had a partnership actually with BrightFunded back then. And that's when I first thought, okay, maybe I should try a prop firm, because yeah, it sounds too good to be true, but I can buy a small account and just try it out. Why not? It doesn't hurt me. And that's when I started my first ever funded challenge with, it actually was with BrightFunded, funny enough. And then I just tried it out. I tried to pass challenges for almost a year. I actually passed a phase 1, and then at a phase 2, it was a 100K challenge. second phase, I was like 1% out from the profit goal. And then I hit a few losers. And we all know, yeah, I didn't really think that emotions and everything that plays a part in trading. I just thought you get in front of the screen, you do your analysis, and if you have that in check, it works. But then I hit a few losers. I went from almost passing to back to break even. I started revenge trading, and I think you can guess how that ended. I breached the challenge in a matter of a few days. And then that's when I really started thinking of trading not only as sitting in front of a screen, but also the discipline that you need for trading. And I basically started building my life around trading like a professional athlete would do. I started preaching discipline in my daily life. I started, for example, for me, I was never a good runner, but I started to run every day. And every day, no matter how I felt, I will get my run done. And I also studied medicine next to it, in the medical field. And I just knew that discipline, it's in the end, it's all some chemical reactions in our brain. If we break it down to the smallest things in our body. So if I preach discipline in my daily life, and if I just get used to the feeling of being disciplined, that this will also transfer over into my trading. And ever since I started doing that, my trading really transformed. And I also learned that losing is part of trading. So as humans, we always want to win, win, win. And in trading, it's really about not being perfect. And that's what I think one of the hardest things is. You have to accept losses. And when you go on losing streaks, for example, those are when times show if you are really a good trader. When we trade good, of course, times are easy. Our numbers go up, go up. But at some points, the numbers have to go down a little bit again. And yeah, once you really learn to trade through bad times as well, you stick to your system, you are a disciplined person, that's when it really transformed. Because if we just push through long term, I have a system, I know my system works, and if I push through the bad times as well, I just know long term I will make money with my system. And don't look at the short term outcome, always have a long term outcome. Look overall, over the bigger picture, over 12 months, and not look at individual months, because there will always be red months. And that's what transformed my trading really, when I started to really see the difference.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's one thing about trading is I think humans are not built in a way to accept losing. I feel like a lot of people are very sore losers, including myself. And until you become comfortable with losing on a regular basis, you're not really going to overcome the obstacles that you need to overcome. And yeah, I think it was a great quote. I think Jordy actually mentioned in one of our podcasts, it's the best loser wins. And it's like, it's like goes against what you're trying to do, because losing doesn't make you money, but being able to accept losing is what's actually going to make you money in the long term.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's 100% a great point. I'm just looking in the chat to see if anyone has any questions for you. I've got one from Manoj. He says, how do you react when you lose a trade or a funded account?
Basically, I don't act at all. I know that it's part of the process. If I even lose a funded account, which doesn't happen often, or if I lose a trade, I just know if I stick to my system, it's not really a losing trade. I don't look at a trade as a winner or as a loser. I just look, did I stick to my system? And if I look at my data that I collected over the time period of the last few years, I just know as long as I stick to my system and I stick to my rules, I will make money no matter if the current trade is a winner or the current trade is a loser.
Yeah, great point. Great point.
Yeah.
I have a question for you now. It's if you had to pin it down to three things, what have the key things been for you to get to a point where you can get 30 payouts plus from a single prop firm and reach over 100K in payouts?
Three things I would say. accept that trading is boring, because I just try to be as consistent as possible. And when you are consistent, things can get boring. And I just accepted that, but I don't care if it's boring. I don't care if it's exciting. As a trader, we want to ultimately make money. And if it's boring, then I accept that, and I will just, not let my emotions take over. And then the second thing is the discipline that you build your daily life around trading. Like a professional football player, for example, he doesn't just go on the field and kicks the ball into the goal. He also eats well. He also exercises every day. And exactly the same things we need as a trader. We don't go on the field and kick a ball, of course, but we sit in front of the screen. We need to be mentally focused, and with being physically active, you just achieve those things as well, and you also achieve the discipline that you need. So the second thing would be to preach daily discipline, and look at discipline like a skill in a video game, for example. You just level up every day. When you go on your run, when you go to the gym, you get experience points and you get a better human. And then the third thing is that I would say in trading, it's also very contra to the daily life. When you work a job, when you work a regular job, it always says if you work more hours, you will get more money. But in trading, it's actually that less is sometimes more, because once you have your profitable system, once you know what you should do, it's actually, for me, it was a game changer to decrease my screen time. And in the time that I'm not sitting in front of the screen, I'll do different things, and I enjoy life a little bit as well, because in the end we want freedom. So I had to learn that less is more. And today, if I really just tone it down to trading would be like a 30-minute. It would take me 30 minutes to do all my trading, and that's it. And the rest of the day, I turn off. I level up those other skills in my life that I mentioned, and they will ultimately, over the long run, transfer over into my trading, and they will pay me back, even though if it's not looking at the moment like that. But all those skills that you level up in your daily life, they will make you a better human and a better trader.
Well, that's yeah. Thank you for obviously sharing those nuggets of value. But 30 minutes a day, that's really effective. So when do you do like your what you like research into the markets, and I want to potentially take a buy or sell in this area? Do you just do that before the week even begins?
Yes, I do it every morning most of the time. And the thing is, I really have already thousands of hours in front of the chart. So I'm at a point where I just need to look at a chart, and in the matter of 30 seconds, I can tell, is it interesting for me? Is it not interesting for me? And it just takes hours. And if you put in the time, I can look at a chart and I can say, hey, that's interesting. If it's not interesting, I go either to the next chart. And if it's interesting, I just need a few minutes to do everything, basically. And that all came through repetition, It just, if you do something over and over again, at some point you are like a professional at it. And it really takes me like 30 minutes a day to do everything. Yeah.
No, that's very freeing, I imagine, because of course you can travel wherever you want. You just get your 30 minutes and then you just go about your day, which is exactly what you need, man. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And I just had one more quick question. It was how much, if I can find it again, I think it was how much do you risk in a challenge phase versus how much do you risk in a funded phase?
For me, it was, I guess we have a lot of people that are trying the first challenges right now in the chat. When I started out, I always risked like 0.5 to 1% on the challenge phase as well. Because I was, of course, if you don't have a lot of capital available, you don't want to breach challenges. You want to make the most out of it. So I started risking very little, 0.5 to 1%. And once I'm funded, I did obviously the same. Now that I'm already a full-time trader, I rather pass challenges a little bit quicker. And if I breach the occasional challenge, I don't really care about it. And now I risk on challenges around 2%, max 3%. And on funded, I tone it back down to 0.5, 0.75%, never more. Because if I go on a losing streak and I will get into deep drawdown, it really can mess with your brain, it can mess with your emotions. And on a funded account, you are way more attached than a challenge account. So that's why on challenges, on funded accounts, it's always 0.75% most. And on challenges, I personally risk more because I have the capital available that I can breach challenges, but I rather just pass them quicker. But when I started out, it was very strict, 1% on challenges, and on funded even less.
Okay, nice, man. Thank you. I think that's very insightful for anyone who may still be having difficulties in determining what their risk management should look like when approaching the challenge and also in a funded phase. So yeah, thank you very much, Flo, for obviously answering all of the questions. Now I want to pin it over to you. Would it be possible to get you to quickly analyze the chart? Maybe if you could just share your screen and just go through like a step-by-step guide as to how you typically approach it.
Yes, I will open my trading view quickly. If my internet allows it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, I'm just waiting for my trading view to load. But it looks like it doesn't want to load. I don't know what's wrong with my internet connection. I'm really sorry.
No, all good. Yeah, if it doesn't work, then it's all good. It's just.
I can just quickly talk about my
Yeah.
favorite system is I traded on the NASDAQ. It's just time-based. You have your opening range. For me, it's the opening range 1530 to 1545. I define the range. So top of the range, bottom of the range. I look at the M5 structure. Is market bearish? Is it bullish? Because I never want to take a trade against the trend. And once price basically breaks out of one side of the range, with market structure aligning the side that it breaks, so let's say it closes below the range and structure is bearish, I'll always set a limit order at the range low, stop loss is always at the range high, and my TP is always fixed at 1.5R. And that's basically my favorite system that I trade on all my private accounts currently. And it has about a 50% win rate. So half of the trades will lose, half of the trades will win, which is, of course, it can be challenging mentally because you know you will lose half of your trades. And the most important thing is to just be consistent with it. And even if you have losing streaks, to not start strategy hopping and just stick to what you know works. Because if I collected enough data on my system, I have really like 400, 500 data points on my system. I just know over the long run, it will eventually make me money. And that's what the most important thing for me is, to collect data, to even, you could even journal if you want to call it journaling. For me, collecting data is like journaling. And that's basically really, shortly my favorite system that I do currently.
Okay, nice, man. Thank you. I was, as you was explaining it, I was like envisioning what it looks like on the chart, and I think I got a grip. So hopefully everyone else in the comments. Yeah,
it's very simple. I could explain it to a 5-year-old.
Your strategy should be simple, innit? It should always be simple. Keep things simple and dead easy so that you can actually stick to it. But yeah, thank you so much, Florian, man. Really appreciate you coming on, answering a ton of questions and just diving more into your journey, because I know the audience got a ton of value, and hopefully they can actually take some of this expertise that you've developed over the past few years and implement it themselves in their own prop journey. So yeah, man, really, really appreciate it, and definitely we'll speak soon. And good luck on your next payout, man. I'm sure it's coming just around the corner. No worries, man. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Goodbye, man.
Bye.
Nice. Thank you all. Yes, so that was Flo, man. Quickly just dived into his story. As you can tell, he's just super seasoned trader. He's just absolutely killing it. And he's just like one of our best performing traders, if not the best. And yeah, we're super proud to have him on board. And of course, before we go into the next one, I would just like to remind you, we do have a huge giveaway today. We're giving away 500K in challenges. So we'll be keeping an eye. We have our moderator who's going to be in the chat, just making sure we have, if anyone's particularly super interested and super active, we'll be keeping an eye on that. And also, if you can just go in, and he's actually just popped in a form. It's a type form. And if you can go in and fill in your details so you can be input into the giveaway, and then hopefully you can increase your chances of winning a challenge today. We've got a lot of them up for grabs. I think it's countless of challenges. So make sure you fill in the type form so that we can hopefully give you some great challenges in exchange, man, for your viewing. So yeah, but I think without further ado, it is time for us to delve into our next guest. So Jordy, whenever you're ready, please feel free to just jump in and we can dive into your story. What? Oh, that was quick. Okay, great.
Always ready.
Ready when you were eager, man.
No. What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Hope you're all doing well.
Oh, wait, sorry. I don't know if it's me, but your audio sounds very, very funny. Is it just me, guys? On my end, it's like quite squeaky. Jordy, could you just try to speak again? Oh, it might be a voice change.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it sounds like a voice changer, but I'm not too sure how it's been activated.
Is it fixed now?
Oh no, it's still quite squeaky. Huh, that is so strange.
You know my AirPods?
I don't know if it's to do with the AirPods. I'm not too sure, you know.
I switched it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely a first. Okay, I'm not sure how we can change it. Yeah, Kaboom just said it sounds like, you know, the Alvin and the Chipmunks. It sounds like that.
Look at this. I got the best one. I mean.
Okay. Okay, I think we can carry on with this. We're gonna have to carry on. I think everyone can understand what's being said, so that's all good. So yeah, Jordy, welcome on. Of course, to those that follow us on YouTube, you've seen our podcast. Jordy came and just gave us a ton of value. And as I actually mentioned previously, one of the quotes that I've been just holding on for dear life is "the best loser wins," and it was actually from Jordy originally. And it's just, again, instilling the idea that if you have the right psychology, or without the right psychology, shall I say, you can't progress in a trading space the same way you'd like to. So yeah, thank you for coming on, Jordy. I know the voice is a bit of a weird one, but we can proceed nevertheless. So yeah, for those that may not be familiar with you, could you just give like 1 to 2 sentences about yourself, how long you've been trading, and then we can just go from there.
Do we got another speaker ready? Because with the voice, I mean, nobody's going to take me serious.
Sorry, would you repeat that? Sorry?
Like, do you got a different speaker ready? Because I'm trying to figure out the voice, but
yeah,
everybody's just laughing. So I got a lot of crazy shit to share, but like, if the voice is not fixed, it's not going to be interesting, I think.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point. You know what? Good shout, yeah. Engagement in the chat though, but yeah, I think what makes sense, let's switch to the yeah, man, it's just one of those ones. So hopefully we can fix it. But yeah, I think we can switch to the next week, and then Jordy, hopefully we can spin back in like 50 to 20 minutes. Yeah. All right, appreciate it, man. Catch you in a bit.
Hello.
Yes.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if I was scared. I thought it was my laptop. I wasn't too sure what was going on.
Laughing out loud. That was quite funny. I've never seen that before, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
I think we can already go with Sam if he's ready. But maybe there are some extra questions for me for BrightFunded, the company, I'm pretty sure that there are tons of questions unanswered. So if you've seen some questions, Eduardo, please go ahead
Definitely.
and we
Yeah,
can
there's a ton.
get them answered.
Yeah, definitely. It's all right. Let me just quickly scroll through so I can see we have a ton of laughing emojis. Okay, here we go. We have a new one. It's, what do you consider to be the ideal account size to enter a funding company as an intermediate trader? So,
I would always recommend to just start small. If you are new to a modern prop, whichever prop it is, just start with the smallest account size. Just try it out and try if the prop firm suits you, suits your trading style, suits you as a person. Because while of course there are lots of similarities between modern props, but there are definitely differences. So I would always recommend to start small with every prop. Start with a 5K account, start with a 10K account, see if the prop is suiting you, and then slowly scaling up. That's always my advice. There's no ideal account size. It really depends on the trader, depends on the trading style, depends on your chapter in your trading journey, because you can't compare someone's chapter 1 to someone's chapter 22. So it really depends on a lot of different factors. But if you are new, start small and slowly scale it up.
yeah, completely agree as well. We have a question from Grace. They're asking, which rules do you see violated the most when trading? That's a good one.
That's a very good question. So the thing is, we as a firm don't have a lot of restricted things. We of course have a fixed set of rules, including daily loss, including maximum loss. You can't hedge between accounts, but these rules are all automatically baked in our model that it is not possible, or your account will be breached automatically. So we firmly believe that if you make profit in our ecosystem, we pay you out. And with whatever strategy it is, you make profit in the ecosystem, we guarantee that you get paid. So we only have like rules in our ecosystem of rules like daily loss, max loss, not hedging between accounts, because otherwise your accounts will be breached. Actually, with hedging between accounts, meaning opening opposite positions between two different accounts. So, for example, opening a buy positions in one account and opening a sell position in the exact same asset in one of your other accounts. First time you do that, you get a soft breach, meaning both accounts, actually the positions in both accounts will be closed. Second time you do that, both accounts will be automatically breached. News trading is also a soft breach, so basically profits will be deducted if you open or close a trade within a 10-minute window around a news event. But these rules are all like baked in our model that is all automatic. Besides that, if you profit in our ecosystem, you get guaranteed paid. The rule that we see breached the most is definitely daily loss, which sometimes surprises me, because if you work with a fixed system that you don't risk more than 1 or 1.5% per trade, you know exactly, okay, hey, I can lose 2 or 3 or maximum 4 trades in a single day, and then I'm done. So that is something which surprises me, because if you have a fixed trading plan, then you should not breach daily loss, but only maximum loss.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting to hear, because you do have quite a bit of leeway before you breach that daily loss. So it's definitely possible over trading, possible revenge trading, definitely at play. So yeah, thank you for answering that. And I actually think we are ready for our next guest. So thank you, Yella, for jumping on.
Sure, man.
So yeah, appreciate it. And
good luck, Sam.
Without catching a bit, man. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome you guys to, there we go, Sam. Nice background, man. Looking real cool.
Thank you, man. It's the streamer setup.
Yeah. Were you streaming live today?
Yeah. I jumped off stream about like 15 minutes ago, so I was
Wicked,
trading
man.
until recently.
Yeah, did you get any positions or just pretty much sitting on
We
your
had a
hands?
break even earlier this morning, but nothing on stream, unfortunately.
Okay, nice, man. But yeah, as I said, thank you very much for jumping on. Really appreciate it, of course. And to those that have watched our podcast, you actually saw Sam and I had a one-to-one trading hot seat, which was absolute fire, and just dived into his journey. But for anyone that hasn't previously seen Sam, could you please just give 1 to 2 sentences about yourself, how long you've been trading, and just the usual?
First of all, my voice is not squeaky, is it? It's all good?
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously, like, you know, my name's Sam. I was originally a lawyer. I was working in a law firm. I went through law school, graduated, did all this lot. And similar to Flo, I needed some extra money. I was in a situation where, you know, my salary wasn't covering my bills. So found trading, struggled with it for a while. I've been trading now for roughly 5 years. If you count like when I was messing around with it, probably about 7, but there you go. And yeah, eventually it took off, was able to quit my job and eventually then leave the UK and move out here to Cyprus. So
Yeah, that's quite the journey because you're still very young, man. So you've definitely accomplished a lot in that short period of time you've been on Earth, man. You've definitely got a lot of fans in the chat. A lot of people saying, I know, saying you're handsome, you got a great trim. Definitely
we'll
getting
talk
a lot
about the
of
trim
love
on
in the chat,
stream.
man.
I think these are the boys that have come over from stream. So I appreciate you guys if you're here.
Nice, man. So yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. So for yourself, how long did it take you to go from unprofitable to break even to now you're at a point where you have a 90% win rate, which is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But how was that journey and how long did it take?
So this is what I mentioned earlier, like when I decided to lock in, because I think for the start I was trading sort of like most people do, seeing as a side hustle, you know, and I don't count that time towards my journey because realistically in that situation, you're not going to actually make any decent progress. But within about 18 months of me genuinely taking it seriously, studying every day, you know, turning up to the markets at work, getting told off for being on trading view in the office, that sort of thing. It took about 18 months to get to the point where I would say, break even, somewhat profitable. And then, like you mentioned, it's a scale, you know, it goes from break even to you become profitable. And then there's different levels of that profitability. You know, it's not just suddenly you get out of the break even stage and it's Lambos. It's like, it's a big journey. So from break even to where I am now, it took me about 2 years of just consistently scaling up. And yeah, that's been the journey so far.
Yeah, that is, yeah, man, going from that to 90% win rate, as the chat is saying, is absolutely insane. So chat, if you have any questions for Sam, please drop it below. And then I'll pick out some specialist ones. Let me just quickly scroll through. So we have, oh, this is a good one from Abdul Kabir. Oh, okay, from Chisholm. It's, how did you move from inconsistent to being consistent? What changed?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So this is what I always like to say as well. For most of the traders who are struggling, or maybe you even break even, right? Most of the break even traders are not actually struggling with strategy. The only thing they're trading with is discipline. And it's not as if it's break even, like you can't make money. Most of the traders go from, you know, they're doing well. The profit's building up. Then you have one day that's a slip up and you wipe it all out. You know, it's essentially the inconsistency that Chisholm mentioned, and the inability to take a loss. And I think the reason that I got past that is just realigning my priorities and actually thinking about what my goals were. Obviously, all of our goals as traders are to make money, right? So how is the best way to go ahead and make money? Well, the best way to make money, everyone knows, is to follow a system, is to follow your discipline, follow your rules, risk appropriately. And I kind of thought to myself, look, I'm broke. I want money. The way I've been trying to make money so far is by taking shortcuts, by over-risking, over-trading. It's not working. Let me realign my priorities and logically just think the best way to get to my goals is actually just doing it the right way. And once that sort of clicked, I've never gone back, because why would I?
Yeah. Thank you for answering. That's a great response. Next question is, how to stop myself from jumping from strategy to strategy?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is like a massive thing in the trading industry, right? I would say realistically, you just have to have a conversation with yourself and figure out what's working and what's not working. 99% of the time, when I get even when I get students that come to me, my mentorship students, maybe my group students, whatever it is, sometimes we don't even change their strategy, because every single strategy can work. Everyone knows this. You know, there's a lot of hate on different strategies. Every strategy can work. 90% of the time, it's the trader that's actually causing the unprofitability, right? It's going to be your emotions. It's going to be not actually following the plan. So I think jumping from strategy to strategy is something that you need to look at your data for. If you're genuinely honest with yourself and you're actually trading the strategy and you're not deviating at all and it's not working, you're losing money, then you need to look in the mirror and go, okay, maybe this strategy is not for me. But how many of you guys can actually go ahead and say, I'm trading perfectly to my strategy. I never take trades off plan. I never over risk. I never over trade. I guarantee not many. So it's one of those ones you need to be brutally honest, but that's what I would say.
Yeah. Accountability is the main thing, isn't it? Definitely, man. And I know previously you used to be really heavy on personal capital trading, right?
I knew this was coming.
You've gone absolutely crazy in the past few months and you've actually reached 1 million funding, which is bonkers. How did you do that?
Yeah, I knew this was coming. So yeah, you are right. Last time we had both of our podcasts, actually, I was the only one at the table when we did the roundtable that didn't trade fundeds, and I was very heavy on that. I think it's an important thing to be, as a trader, to be able to switch your perspective, change your sort of change what's going on. The reason being, I went on quite a big losing streak last, I don't know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that. And I'm still in profit for the year. Everything was still fine. But I was just looking to myself and I was thinking, right, I've just risked a lot of my own capital here. I'm still in profit and everything. Why don't we just try a de-risk period? Because the market was looking shaky for my strategy. There wasn't as many good setups. And any good trader will know you have to go through periods where you're risking more aggressively and when you're risking less aggressively. And for me, rather than dropping the numbers down on my live account, which I could have done, I wanted to try out, the funding route, because at the end of the day, all you're risking with the funding is your initial investment, right? Whatever you pay for the account. So that was a massive de-risk for me. I was risking 5,000 to 10,000 on my live account, which is just, a large amount, and spread across funded accounts is essentially nothing. So the way I did it was just through a method that I've developed since becoming funded. I call it my shotgun method. And it's essentially just removing all emotional attachment towards the fundeds, because I think a lot of people buy one funded account and they go ahead and they actually get so emotionally attached to it and they're so, eager to pass it and so scared to fail it, that's when the actual negative trading habits come in, when you've got that emotion behind you, when you've got that pressure. So you just start off small, buy more accounts with a smaller size, scale it up, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense, man. And yeah, just what does it feel like to have 1 million in funding?
You know what? I'll tell you the story. It's crazy because I've been doing it over the past month. I think I've been sort of scaling up to that mil, trying to get it as a goal. And once I set it as a goal, it happened very quickly. But 2 weeks ago, I was at $950,000 in funding and I had a 50K, and there was one trade that I needed to get across the line and it would have passed me. So I set my TP at the pass, which is actually where my TP should have been. And it hit, and I was $10 off the $1 million funding. And I was there like, no.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, you know what, let me just take a little scalp to get it over the line. And then I was like, nah, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. And this was at night. Because I've blown accounts before by doing exactly what I just said and trying to scalp it over the line, which I advise no trader to ever do. Just wait for it, be patient. Next morning, it was actually like 5 a.m. I woke up in the middle of the night for some reason, Asian session. My setup was printed. I took it with low risk and passed it. So no one was awake, but I was like, yes. And then, I hit $1 million funding in my bed alone at night. Crazy. But there you go. It was an incredible feeling. And just, a result of a lot of hard work, I would say.
Yeah, no, bro, huge congrats to you, because that's no small feat. And yeah, especially just trading live and just doing everything that you're doing just adds that much more pressure, isn't it? So being able to maintain that discipline, to stick to your strategy, not let what the chat is telling you to do or what not to do, because obviously we all get the odd throw here and there, and just to stay locked in is very impressive. So yeah, huge congrats to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Okay, nice. Just one more quick question from the chat. Let's see if we have another one. Right, we have one here. Here we go. How many accounts did you blow before you reached some level of success, and how did you handle the failure?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So this is something that I don't like to track. I've got a very bad habit of dwelling on numbers, dwelling on losses. For example, before I started trading, you know, I'd lost sort of decent 5 figures in money trying to become profitable. And that was something that I always thought, I need to make this back. I need to make this back. So I don't track it. But to be completely honest with you, it's probably over 100. There's lots of funded accounts that I've blown. I invested a lot of money into it. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because that is a part of the journey, you know. Especially recently with the $1 million funding that I got. Unfortunately, I'm at a stage where I can afford the challenge fees, okay? But the main reason why I was able to do it so quickly is exactly what I was trying to say earlier. You can remove all pressure from your trading accounts, from all of this, you know, stress, etc. If you just have, maybe you scale down if you don't have the money to buy lots, and you buy, like, let's say instead of buying 100K, you buy 4 25Ks. In that case, now you've got a 400x chance of passing. Yes, it's going to be smaller, but remove the ego out the way, 1% payout, then it's going to pay for your next set of accounts. So that's always been my method. And most recent set, you know, I probably bought double the amount of challenges I passed, but I knew that was going to be part of the process. I knew it was, you have to fail accounts. And when you have that mindset, there's nothing you have to handle, because when you lose an account, all right, move on to the next one. The next one's passed. All right, good. But if you are struggling with, you know, dwelling on losses, I would say the most important thing for you to do is, first of all, you need to walk away. All right. So you need to walk away, get, you know, some outside time, get some deep breaths in, come back to the charts. Then you need to actually acknowledge it. A lot of people go ahead and they just dismiss it, or, you know, they have denial. You need to get through it, acknowledge that it's happened. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to change it. We have no time machines. And then you need to think of the best logical next move. Is the best logical next move for you to go straight back in, buy another funded account and move on? Probably not, right? You should probably try and figure out what went wrong. Maybe go and learn something, go to YouTube, invest in some education, whatever it may be, and then move on from there. It's just all a logical process, trying to remove emotions as much as you can.
Yeah. No, again, another value bomb. Okay, thank you so much, Sam, for just, of course, as always, answering all these questions and giving traders so much wisdom from your multiple years of experience. And now 1 million in funding. So yeah, man, really appreciate it. And if you just had a few minutes, would you be able to share screen and just go through like not in too much depth, but just a quick step-by-step guide as to how you might analyze a chart per se?
For sure. Let me see if I can operate this. All right, you can see my screen?
Not yet. I can't. Yep, now I can. Yeah, sweet.
All right, cool. So I trade gold only. I think a lot of you will know that already, but I trade gold. And my strategy, we spoke about this on the podcast, is extremely simple. Extremely simple. And I think that's the way it needs to be in order to be profitable, because if you're running around the charts trying to find 10 million different confluences, it's going to be very difficult. So very simply, I start with a process called top-down analysis. I'm going from the very top timeframes all the way down to the bottom. So starting with the weekly, obviously gold is very bullish right now. Daily, all-time high is very bullish. So everything is very bullish right now on gold, even up to like the 2 hour. And then when I drop down to the 1 hour, all I'm going to do is do my analysis. Now, I'm actually going to go back a little bit because it's extremely difficult for me to, there you go, extremely difficult for me to analyze all-time highs, right? But let's say we're here. It's very simply based off of a few things. We have support and resistance. So I'm basically looking at areas of previous rejection. It's going to be areas like this where we've wicked into and rejected numerous times. Areas like this, you know, you've got essentially the same levels being rejected off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 times. So the likelihood is that's going to continue again in, you know, future price action. Then all I wait for is market structure to align. So obviously market structure right now is bullish. And even if you come to the most recent market structure, you know, we've been making higher highs, higher lows. And then you wait for a breakout of one of your levels that goes with your bias, which is a strong bullish bias right now. And then I would need a liquidity grab after the breakout, which we didn't get here, which is why I wasn't able to take a trade on stream earlier. And yeah, something like a bottom wick being grabbed and liquidity. And then after we confirm another bullish move here, I take a buy position with a breakout of the range, targeting, if we weren't at all-time highs, what would be the next level of resistance. And it's just that simple. So simple.
Okay, nice. Chat, spam up fires in the chat, because that was, yeah, pure value. Again, keep it simple, keep it basic, but it works. So why would you change something that works? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, thanks a lot. I always tune into your live streams. I'm definitely quiet. I don't comment much, but I'm always in the
appreciate it, man.
foreground watching, and yeah, I appreciate you, of course, because you're giving people a ton of education, isn't it? Just for free on YouTube.
Free
So,
as well. It's crazy. I need to start charging for these.
hey, you should, you should, bro, because not a lot of people do that. So,
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
man, Sam, super appreciate you coming on, answering all the questions, giving a bit of backsight into your story, and also giving the audience a lot of advice on how they can improve their own trading, how they can develop and improve as traders. So yeah, really, really appreciate it. And definitely, I'm sure we'll speak offline until the next podcast. So
yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna say thank you for having me, and yeah, we'll see each other most likely in person here for the next one.
yeah, definitely, always, brother. All right, take care, man. Cheers, man.
All right, in a bit.
Nice. That was great, man. Just to go through. Hey, welcome back, Yellow.
That was absolutely fire.
Yeah,
That was
man,
absolutely
great, man.
fire.
Okay,
Beast of a
awesome.
trader as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's an absolute beast.
I think.
Go on.
I think it's time to give away some accounts. What do you think, Eduardo?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. I think it is time. So
I think we just pick some random winners in the comments.
yeah,
I've already seen some extremely active people
Yeah.
in the comments, so
Me
we
too.
definitely want to give them the things that are due. So let me just, what we do, Eduardo, is right now we're gonna give away 6 10K accounts,
yeah,
and you will pick 3 persons of the comments, and I will do as well.
yeah,
So what is very important, everyone that is right now spamming the comments, which is nice.
yeah. They're spamming it now.
Is we are gonna name the YouTube usernames, and it is very important that you, actually the person we name and we mention, that you send a screenshot of your YouTube account with proof that it is your YouTube account to Ilyas@brightfunded.com. Our colleague Ilyas will verify it, and our colleague Ilyas will verify it, and we will activate the free 10K challenge. So let me quickly grab 3 names of the comments, and I'd like to start with Lucas Carvalho. Lucas Carvalho, first winner. Second winner is Jad Mari. And third winner is Stefan S. So Ilyas, please take note. We have Lucas Carvalho, Jad Mari, and Stefan S.
Nice. Okay, and I'm going to pick 3 myself now. The chat is absolutely going crazy. So, right. First one that I'm going to pick is, oh God, they're coming in thick and fast. I'm going to go with Nelson Uche. Nelson Uche is the first that I've picked. The second one is, let's go with, oh, super. Let's go with, oh God. Davide Baccini. Davide, sorry if I butchered your name. Davide Baccini. That's the second winner. And the third winner is, let's go with Chisholm Nwanks. Those are the 3 winners that I've selected. So yeah, Ilyas, if you could just please make a note of that.
Ilyas will make a note. And for all the winners, 6 winners, congratulations on your 10K challenge with BrightFunded. Please send proof of your YouTube account to Ilyas@brightfunded.com. And we will activate the account as soon as possible. All right, I think it's time to go over the man, the myth. What do you think, Eduardo?
Yes, it is time. All right, let's do it, man. Right. So without further ado, I would like, oh, see you later, Yellow. I'd like to welcome you guys to our next guest. I'm sure you see this face all over. And as I mentioned previously, if you were at the London Prop Trading Expo, you would have seen him have a panel talk in the morning in front of a huge audience. So without further ado, welcome Zamco, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. All good, thank you. All good. How's life treating you, man? Fresh off the panel talk. What was it like just speaking in front of so many people?
Initially, getting on the stage was like very nerve-wracking. Like my heart was racing. But then the moment I started speaking, I'm like, oh, this is fine. This is easy.
Yeah, because it's your experience, isn't it? Like you've gone over it, I imagine, countless times now, in it. So
Exactly.
yeah, and not to be a pain, but if there is the odd person that doesn't know who you are, could you just give again just a short backdrop into who you are, how long you've been trading, and then we can just go from there.
Cool. So my name is Zamco. I've been trading for 8 years now, and I was unprofitable for 6 years. And last year, April was my first ever payout, and since then, I've done over 700,000 from prop firm payouts.
That's insane, man. Does it feel real?
You get used to it now. It's kind of normal now. It's like, oh, okay, this is just me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's of course we spoke about on the pod, but yeah, that's just it's insane. 700k in payouts in just a year and a half. Is that year and a half?
Just about a year and a half, yeah.
Absolutely insane. So yeah, huge congrats to yourself, bro. And I've
Thank
just got a few questions, man, just about your experience so far, man, because I know you've been training for 7 years.
8 years
and
now.
I wanted to ask, before you found that profitability, how was it like? Because you would have experienced a lot of years of losing, right? What was it like to deal with the constant losing and just thinking or doubting yourself as to whether you can actually make this happen?
I think everyone's gone through the same thing. There's that self-doubt. You feel like maybe this isn't for you, but I just had to keep going. Like everyone knows the pain of failing. Everyone knows the pain of blowing the account, blowing the challenge. So just imagine that, but every single day, and just thinking maybe this time I'll do it. So it was just that for 6 years straight, and it was not nice.
Yeah. And for you, what was the biggest mindset shift that got you over the hump?
The biggest mindset shift happened after my first payout, because that was proof of concept for me. So I kept implementing this strategy, kind of refining it here and then. Finally, when it worked and I got my first payout, I'm like, oh, okay, this one worked. Maybe I have to just do more of this. And I don't know, something in my mind clicked that trading is actually real. You can make money from this because I've just been paid out. Here's the money in my account. And I think that just did something to my mind where I thought, okay, I don't need to go for big home run payouts. Let me just get just one good trade, get that payout secured, and that's it. Because that's exactly what happened with my big payout. Sorry, no, my first ever payout. It was a $2,000 payout on a 10K account. So that was 20%, but that was one trade pretty much. So that told me that, okay, I don't need to keep trading after I hit one good trade. That's it. I just need to keep securing payouts, one good trade, and that's it. Because the issue is a lot of people, they get one good trade on their prop firm funded account, and then they try to get more and then more, and then that's where they blow it. So that's why I've kind of told myself, just get one good trade and that's it. Just leave it for payout and that's it.
Great point. No, great point indeed. The chat is absolutely spamming up. If you have any questions for Zamco, please just drop them in the comments and then I'm going to pop them up on screen and we can go through them. So let me just quickly have a look through. Okay, there's one here from TM. Okay, this is a good question, to be fair. It's Zamco, recently you mentioned that you had a big losing streak. How did you overcome the mental stress on situations like that?
Well, there wasn't really much mental stress because I have data to back up my strategy. I know that in summer markets, when it comes to summer holidays, July, August, it's gonna be whack. I knew that the
Mm.
markets are gonna be horrible, and the moment September like kicks in, then things are gonna go back to normal. And that's exactly what's happening. I lost my 2.6 million funding in the summer markets, and within 2 weeks, I'm back up to 1.1 million funding CFD and 1.5 million in futures. So it was very quick to make it all back. It was just I trust my system. I know I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. I didn't change anything. So it was just having the data to back up my strategy. So I just knew that it doesn't matter, because when the time comes, it will work out. So there wasn't really much stress.
So just stick to you've already got a proven edge. So you know
Exactly.
eventually. So question, next year, are you going to trade in July and August?
Probably. I'll end up doing the same thing.
Fair enough, man. So we have another question here. It's from Pro Trader 28. It's how do you define that X factor? Oh, sorry, just went. There we go. How do you define that X factor as edge in which is very unique, which makes so successful? Okay. How do you find? So essentially, how do you get the X factor? How do you know if a strategy actually works?
We'll try it out for a month or two and see if it gives you payouts. Like my one, when I finally started sticking to one simple strategy, I was just getting payouts one after the other. I was passing challenges one after the other. So I'm thinking, all right, this must work then, because nothing else has worked. So that was kind of it for me. Of course, you can get into the real numbers and the exact percentage of your win rate over a 6-month period of time. But honestly, for me, it was just, I'm getting paid out. I'm doing something right. So let's just stick to this. It wasn't really, I need a certain number of months to tell me that this is profitable. It was just, it's giving me payouts, so it must work.
Yeah. And so would you say it's more important to forward test, or did you also back test that same strategy?
See, with back testing, I don't really start looking at like months of data or anything. It's like literally like the last 2 weeks, I'll just look at just quickly, just okay, does this work? Okay, if we break the structure like this, is the fair value gap here? Okay, that does work, kind of cool. But I'm not really back testing. My main thing is forward testing always, because back testing is easy. Everyone thinks that they're a legend when they're back testing, but the moment you're forward testing, the moment you're actually deciding to enter that trade, when to exit, it's a different story. So I don't see the point of back testing really. Just have a quick brief look, like does it generally work? Cool. If it does, great. Then forward test. And forward testing, it doesn't mean you have to get big 100k 200k accounts and forward test on that. Just try a 10k account or even a 5k account. Just be in the live market, just real actually placing the trades, because that's a completely different psychology. So make sure that you're trying to do that, and if it's still working, then maybe you're onto something there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely, trading live is a completely different ballgame to back testing, because
Absolutely.
the convenience of being able just to click and let the candles print out and seeing exactly how it's formed is different to when you're in the market and something's going bullish then bearish the next second. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's definitely a whole different ballgame. So definitely forward testing, once you have something that relatively works in a back testing, is the way to go for sure. We had another question in the chat. How do you manage loss when you are in drawdown, and do you reduce the trade size or go with the same?
Yeah, so whenever I'm in a loss, a lot of people, they tend to reduce their risk, and I think that's the stupidest thing you can do, especially if you're trading with prop firms. Because if you're reducing your risk, the moment you finally do win, that winning trade's not going to make back much of that loss, because you've already reduced your risk. So what I do when I'm going into drawdown is I do nothing. I just stick to my same risk every single time, because that's how the numbers actually work in your favor. That's how your edge actually plays out. The moment you reduce your risk, you might have that winning trade, but because you have reduced your risk, you're not making back much. So it doesn't really work out that way. So I stick to the same.
You know what? Yeah. I see both sides to that coin as to why both sides make sense, but it's definitely good to get a different perspective, because I'd imagine a lot of people, as soon as they go into drawdown, they start to panic and start to think, okay, no, I don't want to carry on like this. Let me limit how much I'm risking. And then sometimes what I'll see traders do is they'll hit a win, but then it hasn't accounted to what it usually account for, and then mentally it might mess them up. So yeah, that's definitely a good point. Okay, nice. And then I just had one more question for you. If you had to pin it down to one thing, what's the one singular thing that's helped you get over 700k in payouts?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, all good. If you had to pin it down to one singular thing, what's the one thing that helped you get over 700k in payouts?
Understanding how the market moves. That's it.
Okay. So you have to know price action. You have to understand how it moves. And then when you're within, like, yeah, essentially just knowing price action.
Exactly. Because
Okay.
a lot of people do just see like momentum and just enter, or candle closure and just enter, rather than understanding how do the institutes actually enter their positions? Why does the market move the way it does? Why is there higher highs and higher lows? Why does that even happen? People don't understand that they just see the closure above. Oh, let's take buy, but that's not enough. You need to know exactly why does people retrace. So
yeah. Okay, no, thank you. Yeah, the audio broke a little bit. Yeah, sorry, I think the audio is breaking a little bit, but I think I gathered what you said. You mentioned that you essentially need to understand how price is moving. It's not just about like marking the high or low. You have to see where you are within the market. I know you like to focus on like premium and discount. So if price is bullish and prices come back into a discounted zone, now you can start to look at, for example, inefficiency, and then you zoom in, see if there's a market structure shift on a lower time frame, and then you can look to buy. So yeah, it definitely goes back to just understanding how price moves, and that's just, I think, gained through experience on the chart and so forth. So yeah, Zamco, of course, you know where it is. Thank you so much for jumping on today. Really, really appreciate it. I can't ask you to pull up a chart because I know you're on the way to another podcast. So hopefully you absolutely smash it. But yeah, really appreciate you jumping on and just giving our audience a ton of value, and just hoping to give more insight and wisdom into your own trading experience from someone who's amassed ridiculous amounts of funding and got a ridiculous amounts in payouts. So yeah, as always, brother, thank you very much, and we'll definitely speak soon.
Thank you very much.
See you later, man.
Thanks, man.
That was great.
Yeah,
that
man,
was very great.
He's a beast, man. 700k in payouts in a year and a half is every trader's dream.
Insane.
It's insane, man.
Definitely.
Okay, nice.
All right. I'm pretty sure that we are going to announce a few more winners. We've just already gave away 6 10k accounts. And right now, we'd like to give away a few 25k accounts. So if you can pick, Eduardo, 2 winners, I will do it as well.
Okay.
And then we do it exact same way as the time we did it like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So we both pick 2 winners of out of the comments. Ilyas will write the names down, and then please send a proof, so a screenshot of your YouTube account, to ilyas@brightfunded.com, and we will activate your account as soon as possible. So we will be giving away 4 25k accounts. I will go first. So let's get into it. So the 2 winners are Gospel Chiders, first winner, and Nikhil. So
Nice.
Gospel Chiders and Nikhil. Ilyas P, please write them down. So we will have the winners there. Go ahead,
nice.
Eduardo.
Right. So for myself, let's see. The chat is very active. So let's just see. Let's see. Let me scroll through. Let me see if any particular name's been sticking out, because some people have been really, really active, and we really appreciate. Of course, we appreciate everyone. So we have Grace. Grace is the first winner I'm going to pick. They've been extremely active today. And the next person I'm going to pick is... let's go with... Josh Hazel. Let's go with Josh Hazel.
It's a nice name.
Yeah. So those are my two winners for the 25K accounts.
Sweet. And then we have hopefully Jordy fixed his Mickey voice.
Yeah.
But I think Jordy's also an amazing trader. Already trading with BrightFunded for a while. Got over 25K in payouts just with BrightFunded, and I know that he got a lot of other payouts with other modern prop firms, but just with us, already over 25K. So as well, beast of a trader, and I think he will provide a lot of interesting insights on his trading.
Definitely looking forward to it. So we will try again. Hopefully the voice has been fixed. So let's round two, man. Jordy, how are you?
Is it fixed? That's the question.
It's better.
It's better. You can hear me now.
Yeah, like it's definitely clear. It's still a little bit high pitched, but it's okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll bring some value.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, man. Thank you for jumping on as previously mentioned. From my personal standpoint, ever since I met you back in, was it January that we did the podcast? I think it was.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, in January. I've been following your journey and just like you are the epitome of someone that you just instill discipline. Like your whole way of living, everything is dedicated towards becoming a better trader. I see like everything you do from a fitness standpoint to every day you're getting in a ice cold plunge, which I personally would never ever do. It's just too much for me, but I respect the commitment and you just always heavily.
I'm just gonna quickly join with the phone because I can see the chat and they're texting me. So I'll just quickly switch to my phone and it will be fixed.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, Jordy will be back in a second. Yeah, this should be good. Let's try this.
Okay, can you hear me well like this?
Wait, yes.
Let's get it, boys. Now we're all gonna get funded, finally. Oh, goddamn.
Oh my God. Oh, thank God. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know what happened, but
Would have been funny if I faked the voice right now, right?
yeah, that would have been impressive.
Yeah, it would have been impressive.
But the chat seemed to love it, so
Yeah, we
man.
gave them a show. We gave them a
Yeah,
show. They
this
first
has
had
definitely been a show, man.
Megatron Zamco audio, and now they had Mickey Jordy. So what else do you want?
We're definitely getting their money's worth, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordy, man, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, as I was previously saying, it's just I've been following you for a good amount of time now, and I just see that your commitment to trading and becoming a better trader is genuinely like next level. Like you do every single thing, no matter how small, knowing that this is going to improve your trading. Even though someone might not see it as directly correlated to trading, you do it all. Like someone who's heavily invested into their own career. So I think the audience today will definitely have so much to learn from you. And for those that may not know you, could you just give, again, a brief, short sentence just about who you are, how long you've been trading, and then we can just get into some of the more meaty questions.
Yes. So basically, been trading for 6 years. I come from a catering background, so hustling, working long hours, working in kitchens, working in service. I studied hotel management and stuff, so really hard. So we can talk about that. How it was taking a lot of risks, using my paychecks for funded accounts, stuff like that. So basically, all of my journey was taking risks, trying things until There was just no way back. I just burned all the bridges. For me, it was just living paycheck to paycheck, investing it all into coaches, into funded accounts, until it was going to work. Like I
Mhm.
probably wasted a lot of money by just doing it that way. But for me, it was just I saw no other option for me. Like working in catering, what else can you do? I mean, you can open
Yeah.
a restaurant, but for me, that was just the way to escape it and just go all in with trading.
hmm And that must have been quite a dynamic because catering is a very hands-on thing. So it's like you
Yeah.
must have been really struggling to get any time to look at a chart and actually focus on it. So how did you balance that?
It's almost impossible to balance. Like you cannot trade every session you want. You have to you're forced to be a swing trader basically. And I was really addicted by the charts, so that was a difficult thing for me. Working with like in between services, going to like a very dirty small bedroom to just check your setups whenever there was an alert. Like I used to work in star restaurants, so they used to call me out on it being on my phone. So it was really a lot of frustration. I always find a way. I would still execute the trades, but I couldn't follow up on the trades. I just had to. So I learned to trust my trades early on in the journey because I just couldn't check them. So it's like I'll put the trade, loss or win. I couldn't even go to break even, which is bringing me a lot of value now because a lot of traders move their stops to break even and they shouldn't have. And so that's a good thing that I have. I will just take the loss or take the win, unless of course it's running almost next to its take profit. I will probably secure some profits or take it to break even. But it taught me a lot of things: patience, not being greedy, just letting my trades run. But definitely there was no room for self-growth, for the ice plunges, for doing
Yeah.
sports, for like there was no sleep schedule, there was no sleep routines, there was no supplements. It was just like drinking, working hard, like no focus, no energy. So that was I could only just take trades and hope that they would hit take profit or stop loss, check it after service. Of course, I don't do that fully anymore, but that was a really tough way to start.
Yeah. That is definitely one of the, I'd say, very difficult careers to transition from going something that's fully hands-on, just always on the move, no time to think, to something that you're just sitting at a desk analyzing. And that must have been quite difficult itself from a patient's point of view, because you're used to like the busy, fast life, and then trading is boring essentially, because
It
you are
is.
looking at a chart all day just waiting for something to happen. So that initial transition when you went from catering to eventually becoming a full-time trader, what was that like? How was the first like week? How was the first month when you were a full-time trader?
I remember that part very vividly. It was just after COVID, and I think it was working at a star restaurant, and they were very strict, so very high standards. Sitting on my phone, and I think something happened. We had to get like vaccines in the kitchen, so it was very sketchy. They were like, "You need to get your vaccine. You need to get it." There was a doctor sitting in the kitchen, like everybody had to go to the doctor get a vaccine. Yeah. It's a very sketchy stuff. And I was like, yo, we just had the whole COVID thing. I'm like, this is not
Yeah.
okay.
What the?
Yeah, which was nuts. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And she just yelled at me. I remember that for the full kitchen staff, service staff. And then the next day, I just went in there. I already had some payouts, of course, mind you. I was not being very risky. And then I was just like, next day, I just went to a copy shop because I didn't have a printer. I went to a copy shop, printed out my what's it called in
Resignation.
English? Resignation letter, and I just gave it the next day. And it was very scary. So honestly, because you know you have some money aside, so you had some payouts, but it's very scary because you don't know what's going to happen. And actually, like 2 months later, I lost the funded account that I had getting to full-time trading. So that was a very tough thing. I started working with a psychologist and stuff because I was like, damn, I want to get back into my peak performance. It's a totally different shift going to full-time trading because, as you said, it is quite boring, but then it's also a benefit to be working all the time because you don't have to check. You can just let it do its thing. But then if you can check all the time, you will probably overtrade or overmanage. And those were the things that I was doing a lot in the beginning of the journey. So there's a lot of positive things, but also a lot of negative things. If you want to switch to full-time trading, having a buffer for me, it was like having at least 30K in my bank account. And then I was like, with the mindset, with my particular job, I could always go back. If I make one phone call right now, I will be working tonight in a restaurant. So that was also my mindset. So I think it's different for everyone's situation. If you're working a corporate job, or if you have your own company and you want to go full-time trading, it's a different story there, because I could always, like, I burned the bridge, but like there's always other bridges, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's still like a plan B if
Yeah.
you ever need to get back into getting cash flow. Okay, now that makes sense, man. Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing the journey, man. It's definitely transitioning to full time is definitely not easy, and it brings, even though you might have your psychology intact, it just brings on another challenge that you need to overcome. So, yeah, definitely not easy, man. We've got a question from Fabil. He said, "Did you ever face financial pressure after becoming a full time trader?"
I think I created the pressure myself. I had more pressure before because I was spending my paychecks to getting funded accounts, to coaches, to courses. But I think afterwards, because I already had the capital, it's more self-created than actually it was. Like even now, if I fail a challenge or if I breach an account, it sometimes happens. If you have a bad month, because we take some more risk in challenges, it's not like I feel it, but I create this kind of feeling like, and then I realize, well, you got all these investments going, you got some property, and then I'm like, why? It's just a psychological thing that I created myself, but it's not really there. That's a quite interesting thing that I had. And then always, like, if you don't make payouts 1 month or 2 months, which happened to me, then immediately you're like, oh, I'm fucked. But that's not the reality. Like, you still have, that's why you have that capital saved. That's why it's there, just to build again. And the faster you can reset and let go and accept, you can grow again and get the payouts again. But I think a lot of people nowadays in the space, when they're trading, they're so stuck because stuck in their head, and the weight of every trade, every position is really carrying them away in their trading. To share a nugget, because I have to over deliver now because of the voice. Yeah, I have to over deliver. So I'm going to share 2 nuggets today. This one is the first one. Most traders that are going to execute from the emotional state of the result from their last trade. It's something I discussed with my one of my guys in my group. So if you took a loss or if you took a winner, automatically, if you take a winner, your next trade, you're going to be more confident. If you take a loss, next trade, there's always going to be a small effect that you're going to have that you feel your confidence goes a little bit down, or you might have a little bit of frustration because you made a mistake. So try to, and there's a nugget for you guys. If you take a trade, and usually they only do it when they take a loss, or not fully, because they take that weight of that loss with them in the next trade, try to reset, accept it, journal it as quick as possible. Learn from it, journal it, like instantly almost. Go and check, journal it, put it away, accept it, it's done. And I use the analogy from playing squash. When you're behind in a squash game or a tennis game, just what I do is like a trigger, it's 0-0. We're back at 0. It's a full reset. That's something that really helps to keep your focus back in the game and try to execute at a high level again and not have emotional state impact from your previous results.
Yeah. You see, that's genuinely a great nugget. That's because I think in the trading space, you see a lot of people saying trade like a robot, right? Trade with no emotions. You've worked with psychologists, like you've always focused on developing that bulletproof psychology. Do you think it's possible to realistically get to a place where you literally have no emotion when trading?
No, definitely 100% not. Because for some people, suddenly you're going to reach a plateau where you're going to, like, you will feel no emotions when you make 100K. But someday you'll make 1 million or 10 million. Exactly. There's always going to be a next number that's going to hype you. And the same with losing. Like potentially whatever your risk profile is, you might not feel anything I might not feel anything at losing 10K today. But I might still feel a lot when I lose 50K. I will be like, shit, what have I done? So being a robot, I think as a trader, you have to become very self-aware of your emotions, of what you're doing in life in general. And if you're aware of what you're doing, and especially why you are doing it, because then you can fix it. We live in a society where we give medication for the issue, but we should fix the disease, but we should fix the issue. And that's something you should do in trading as well. So be very aware. Where are these issues coming from? Where are these emotional things coming from? Try to fix that stuff. Try to spot it easily. So become very self-aware of your routines, of your thoughts. Take a journal. Let me add an extra nugget for you guys. Take a journal. Take something to write down, as I've done. Even though I've had payouts, I was still taking notes during this call because there's a lot of stuff that came to my mind. It's like, oh, that's a good refresher. But you got to be very self-aware of your thoughts. Write them down. Just take one day. Note everything down that you say to yourself. And you can find your belief systems, and you can try to change everything. Because some people will be like, I'm a bad trader, I'm taking shitty setups, and that's gonna ruin you anyway. So be very self-aware.
Yeah, again, see, this is what I mean. The audience, I told you, he's gonna come and just drop value on value. This is what every time I speak with Jordy, I just take more and more in, and it's just like it helps with my psychology every time I damn near speak to him.
It's that the Disney Premium Plus package.
Yeah. You are, no, honestly, you're a great mentor. Like, a lot of the things you say just really resonates and hits home for any trader. If you've been there as a trader, you know what the struggles are, and you know we all have those negative self-thoughts, and you're just like, you're on a losing streak. Everyone's gonna go on a losing streak, and you start doubting yourself. I'm a shitty trader. I can't trade this. This strategy doesn't work anymore. But if you just calm down, you just something as simple as journaling makes a world of difference. But a lot of people just don't do it, and it's just actually applying yourself and looking to improve your psychology. Yeah, it's gonna make a huge difference.
Do you know why people don't do what they should do? That's a great question for the chat. Why do people do not do what they should do?
Is this in life or in trading?
Anything in life, in trading. What do you guys think? Why do people not do what they should do?
Why do people not do?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You're just like, boom.
You got my brain racing now. Oh, let's see if the chat can help me out with that one. Why do people not do what they should do? I'm tempted to say discipline. Okay, we got Topperoni said because they want to cut corners. Good shout. Lack of discipline because the brain doesn't like being controlled. Fear, comfort, because doing a thing is harder than thinking about the reward when you do the thing. Some great responses, to be honest. Complacency, yep. Laziness, greed. We all want to be in rest mode. Yeah, you've got the chat on fire now, man. These are
because this is gonna be
right. Go on.
For all of them. So it's from I'm a book guy, right? I get a lot of my stuff from books, which is a life hack in itself. If you get the right books, Atomic Habits, that's what I'm referring to with this question. Like, why do people know that they have to eat healthy and don't eat healthy? Why do people know they have to journal their trades, but sometimes don't journal? It's because, like, how fun is it to like go and do 2 hours of cardio? Nobody likes it. Yeah. Some people like to do 2 hours of cardio.
Yella does.
Yella probably does, yeah. So some people really like it, but most people, they don't really like it. So gamification of stuff is going to help you a lot. Like, make these things fun for you, make them attractive. And that's what I did in my trading. Like, make it a fun process. Like, in your backtesting, I see a lot of traders, and this is something very common. They're even getting frustration when they're backtesting. I mean, if you're already getting frustration when you're backtesting, like, this doesn't work, well, you're doing it wrong. Take a step back, make it fun. Try to just, without putting it on replay, just look at where the setups are. Look at the market. Where should I have been trading? And try to make it as fun as possible. But if you're just like, as a beginner, replaying it, this trade wouldn't work, this trade wouldn't work, yeah, you're gonna get frustrated a lot. So trying to make the habits that you wanna, like the habits you wanna attain, like make them very fun, make them very attractive, and gamification of these habits is going to bring you a lot in that.
Yeah, definitely increases your chances of actually sticking to and doing it. So yeah, 100%. And I've just got one more question for you. You managed to scale to 800K in funding. What helped you on that journey to just continually increasing the amount of funding that you had?
There's a lot of factors. That's a great question. If I need to give one answer, I think it's consistency. Like the period when I was scaling, it was very boring. It was nothing special. I wasn't trading any different. I just had a silver bullet strategy, which I don't use that much anymore, but I was just using a silver bullet strategy. I backtested it a lot and I was just executing it, and it was just working very fine. And I was just journaling. I was just in a flow state. I was not very overhyped. I was not frustrated. Also in a part of my journey, I think, where I didn't care too much about trading. So that was also a thing. So I was very consistent, but like, even if I'd won or lose, it wouldn't really bother me anymore. So that's what flow state is for me. So I would just take a trade very statistically, because I know silver bullet strategy was a statistic thing. So I was just executing like very statistically. I know that it will work. I know that it will work. And that's when my flow state really came out. But of course, there's many things like sleep, eating healthy, like making sure you have good energy and focus. Also that stuff. But if anything in life, consistency is the key to success, I think.
100%. I think, yeah, you hear a lot of people saying it and you always wonder, is it really just that? But sometimes it is. Less is more. Being able to accept losses and staying consistent in the game, staying around long enough to actually become successful. Because a lot of people just quit along the journey. They quit in the first month. I can't remember the exact statistic, but I think like 90% or 95% of traders quit within the first few months.
I got a better answer.
Do you remember?
Let me change my answer.
Yeah, go on.
I got a better one. It was actually when my ego died. That's a better answer.
Yeah, I love that one.
So hey, let me finish with
Hello,
a
hello.
quote. You are the issue, but you're also the problem. You're the problem, but you're also the solution. Yeah. Let me end on that.
This man is not stopping giving
Wow.
value, right?
I had to over.
He doesn't. He always.
Look,
I
Jordy.
think he made up for the voice.
Next time we also invite Koen, like your trading psychology coach. Also a very inspirational person. Actually, Koen has been on our podcast in one of the first episodes, and he is also a true inspiration, especially in terms of psychology. He's a legend.
He's the best guy out there. He really helped me in like being self-aware, like the stoplight model I talked about in the podcast. I think like understanding when you were in red, when you're in green, like that stuff. He could talk hours about that, I think.
Yeah, he's an absolute legend and also a beautiful person. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Jordy. I really liked and loved the value bombs you've been dropping. And I think that also almost is bringing us to the end of the event, right, Eduardo?
Yeah, indeed. Jordy, thank you so much for jumping on. Like I said,
thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely killed it. Thank you as always.
Pleasure.
And we're sure we'll speak soon, man. Peace, brother.
All right. I think we're already 2 hours in, and it took a bit longer than expected, but hey, it's the first event. Definitely not the last one, because if I'm speaking for myself, I really enjoyed it, and I think the value that has been shared is simply amazing, and it's something our community is loving. I see it in the chats. I also see it in Discord. So definitely not the last event. But before we wrap it up, we still have some accounts to give away. And I'd like to make it clear that we're going to give away the last accounts in stream, which are 3 50K accounts. The rest of the accounts we're going to give away via the emails that have been shared in the type form. So as you see in the right top corner, you see a QR code. So please scan this QR code, fill in your email, and the rest of the winners will be drawn by those emails. So please scan the QR code, extremely important, so you make sure your place is secured to win, to stand a chance to win one of the remaining accounts. So the last 3 accounts, which will be the biggest accounts, the 50K accounts, we're gonna give away right now. Let me pick 2 accounts, and you will pick one. You will one account, Eduardo. So I'm gonna start first, and the first 50K. I see the chat is going absolutely mental again, which is good, of course. So first 50K account is going to Heike Heuvelmans 1621. Heike Heuvelmans 1621. Congratulations with your 50K challenge. Second one is going to Imran. I've seen Imran spreading so much comments already in the chat, so it's well deserved. It's well deserved, Imran. Go ahead for the last account, Eduardo.
And then, last but not least, I've seen this person very active. I don't know if they're right here, but their name was like Amit FN. I think it was Amit FN. You are the winner of. Oh yeah, I think I've just seen him somewhere. Amit FN. You are the winner of the last 50K challenge. Perfect. Yeah, all picked up. Nice.
Amazing. So just again, all the remaining accounts that we still will give away will be drawn in the email list. And please scan the QR code in the right top corner to stand a chance to win one of the remaining accounts. We will do it today and tomorrow. So if you are a winner, you will get a message by email, and you will be granted a free BrightFunded account. So for the winners we've just mentioned, like Heike, Imran, and Amit FN, please send a screenshot, like a proof of your YouTube account, to ilias@brightfunded.com, and your account will be activated. All right, we're exactly 2 hours in. I think it has been an amazing event, first event for BrightFunded. Lots of room for improvement. So I'm actually very grateful for how the first one has been and how it went. But I'm also very curious how you experienced it, my man.
Yeah, man, I absolutely loved it. It was great just to interact with the chat, because there's been so many people just tuning in. So we appreciate every single one of you. It was great to speak with the traders, just to go over their journeys and just discuss all of the nuggets and wisdom that we can extract from them as to how we ourselves can improve as traders. Because I think the best thing to do is always learning from someone that's actively doing something you'd like to do. So
absolutely,
in fact, we were able to get some absolutely great guests on today. Got a lot of knowledge myself, so I'd imagine the audience as well equally got as much. So yeah, man, I had a blast. It was really, really good.
Amazing. So let's go to the final round. Of course, I've kicked off today's event with some exciting updates that are also coming to BrightFunded, and some things that we're already rolling out as we speak, like the improvement of trade execution, improvement of trading conditions, improvement of VWAP. So basically comes down to the improvement of the price you will get when opening and closing a position, which are extremely exciting. MetaTrader 5 rolled out under our own MetaQuotes license this month. So there's so much more to come to BrightFunded in upcoming years and upcoming tens of years that will bring us to the forefront of the industry. While we are already two years in, it for us as a company with over 30 people strong internally, it really feels that we're still in our infancy and still really at the beginning of our journey. And we know that BrightFunded will be an extremely recognizable and recognized name within the trading industry in a couple of years. What I also mentioned is that we're going to roll out a free environment for traders, which basically means that you will be able to take on one challenge, which is a very, very small challenge. Basically, it's just something to try us out. It's not a free trial, but it's a very, very small challenge to try us out, to experience the BrightFunded difference, but still have the possibility to earn a real payout. It will not be a 5K challenge. It will be an even smaller one. It will not be pay when you pass. Definitely not, because that's definitely not something we are going to engage in. It will be a very, very small challenge, where you can try BrightFunded in, see and check if we suit you as a trader, because as I also mentioned, that's extremely important for you as a trader to choose the prop that suits you the best. So it will be an extremely small challenge to try us out, one challenge, but still the possibility to earn a real payout. So you can also experience our lightning fast payouts, our extremely smooth payout process, which is already recognized by a lot of traders, and we actually receive a lot of good comments about the payout process because of the fast payouts we offer. So that's something I wanted to wrap it up with. Much more to come, much more events as well to come, because this one was definitely something we really enjoyed, to engage with the community, to engage with you. For now on, still want to wish you a lovely week ahead. Big week in the markets. Make sure you will end it in a profitable and green way. And I think for now, Eduardo, this is it.
Yeah. Thank you all, everyone, for tuning in. As Yella said, there's definitely going to be a lot more in the future. So make sure you stay subscribed to us. Stay tuned on our socials for more. And yeah, stay locked in for trading, because you need to focus, be disciplined, and then get your payouts.
All right. Have a blast of a week. Cheers.
So everyone. Bye-bye.